Okay, we now have all of them machined on both sides here, including mine. This is mine right here, and this is the last one that we just cut. So real happy with the results. It's miking out good. Time to take this face mill out, and I'm going to change my setup to an end mill. I'm probably going to find me a nice beefy solid carbide end mill to do the next stop, and what I want to do is mill the sides there. So we're going to have the machine set up to where we can come down this side right there and then come down this side right there, and hopefully mill out a nice perfect 90-degree, or as perfect as this milling machine will do. So we will bring you back once I get all the setup ready and ready to go. I'm gonna set mine up here and get it tested and proven, and making sure that we got a good setup before we move on to all of the customer squares. We're gonna give this guy a try right here. This is a 1-inch solid carbide end mill, 4-fluter. It has been reground, but it has not been used since it was reground. This is one that somebody has given me along the way. I'm not really quite sure who gave it to me, but it's been in my cabinet with my carbide end mills. So we are going to give it a try. We'll be using the TG150 collet to hold the shank there. All right, this is my square here. This is the one I'm trying to get everything set on, and we've made a cut. I think I've got it where I want. I just want to do some inspection on it and make sure, get this thing set the way I want for all the other squares. But it is looking really nice. It made a really nice cut across there. But I may experiment with one more finishing pass on mine just to see if I can improve the finish there. But the end mill's doing really good. And from touch off on both sides, we've moved it into the end mill 70 thousandths to clean up. See this little corner right here? It was still a little bit shy of cleaning that up, so I took another 10 across there to get it clean. And I was trying to make some kind of nominal size for it, and it's going to be right around 1 inch thick right through here. All right, but this is a radius and casting, so it's really hard to kind of make it a nominal. So we're really just working on trying to clean it up so that it's all sides are cleaned up there. All right, once I get this thing where I want it, I will give you some machining footage of the end mill in action. All right, so this is the second one that I machined right here. And I wanted to go ahead and show you this part of it, and you know, once we get this out of the way right there, we will go ahead and I'll show you some of the production runs of milling the side. So there's a little better look at how the sides are looking. What I'm doing is I'm taking a total of 60 thousandths, call it a rough pass, down each side, and then I'm moving in an additional 5 thousandths, and I do a climb cut down both sides, and I slow the feed rate down by 1 notch, and it seems to be doing really well. Cutter's doing good. It's leaving a nice finish on there for what you would expect out of an end mill. And let's go ahead. I cleaned the surface plate off. That's where I got you back here on the granite, and I got a couple of shims. We'll hinge it right there. You can see that it's not hinging exactly 30%. As if it was scraped in, or even if it was absolutely truly flat. Make sure I got the dust off of it. We'll put it on that side, a little bit more towards the center there. All right, so what we're going to do is just do a visual inspection real quick, and I'm pushing up against this cast iron surface plate just to hold it, keep it from pushing back. All right, and then we've got our 6-inch Machinist square right here. All right, we're just going to push that up against there, making sure that I've got nothing underneath it. All right, we'll just push it up against it. We got our flashlight. Let's do a light test on it. You see that it's on. There's a fly on me there. All right, there we go. You can see that we've got a little bit there at the top, but it gets pretty tight there at the bottom, so you can visually see a little bit of a gap right there. Let me make sure you got a good angle to see that. All right, so this is the smallest feeler gauge I have. This is 1.5 thousandths, and I'm not going to push the squares together, but I just want them to go together, and I'm just going to hold it just to keep this one from moving around. All right, 1.5 will not just go up in there, so we know it's definitely less than 1.5. I've also got this. This is 1,000 shim stock right here, brass shim stock. And I cannot get it to go in there. I'm just holding it down, and I'm not trying to push it up in there flat, you know, against it. So I cannot get the 1,000ths feeler gauge. There we go. All right, finally got it right there. All right. So we can get the 1,000ths down. Now it's starting to get a little tight, so a little less than 1,000ths right there. All right, there we go. So this is consistent with my square and then the first one that I did, because this is the second production one right here. I just wanted to make sure that I get everything moving and set up and cutting the way I want before I get the cameras in there to show you. All right, so I would say on this 6-inch length right there, we're actually just a little over 6 inch because we haven't machined the ends, but I would say that it's going to be within 1,000ths square out of square there, and that's going to be the best that my machine, that my mill is going to get this to. But the thing to remember is that this is just a machined square, so it's not going to be as accurate as if you put it on a good quality surface grinder and finished it out, which is the way that this should be done. Now that it's machined, if one chooses to and wants to make it more perfect, then you should surface grind these to make sure that they're 100% perpendicular on 90 degree and that everything is nice and square. So this is going to work good. I'm happy with the results there. I wish I could have get it a little bit closer than that, but out of the three, they're all measuring exactly the same right there. So get a 1,000ths feeler gauge in there on just the top end. So we'll go ahead and set up another one, and I'll start showing you some of the machining ops, all right? All right, we're going to do a 5,000ths climb cut. And we're going to drop it from 10 inches a minute down to 7 inches a minute for the cleanup cut, so 5,000ths. Looks good. All right, let's put Put back in. Alright, so that's a finish right there. What we're doing is we're removing 60 thousandths for our first pass, and then I'm doing a 5 thousandths climb pass on the finish there to clean it up, and that's it. It's turning out really good. Cutter's doing a good job. It's got a nice smooth feel, and what I'll do is I'll use my precision stone to break the corners here to kind of stone those off, and just slick the bottom a little bit there, and it's done. So this one's finished. I will remove it. I will point out, that I had to change my setup from one center clamp, which wasn't enough for, I tried a higher feed rate too. I was trying to I think it was 22 inches a minute to rough it across there, and as soon as it came in this corner, it actually pushed it back, and luckily that was on my square. It didn't damage it though. I was able to clean it up. But so I changed my setup so that I've got 2 strap clamps holding the square down on each corner there, and it is pulling down on the fixture plate. It's not pushing down over the side of it. All right, so we'll get another one. Gives you a better look at the finish there. See, it looks good. We'll grab another one, and let's do the next one. Going in with our 5 thou climb cut now. That's one that we just milled there. Went ahead and stoned it, got all the burrs off of it. I have been coming back here and just kind of checking them as I go. Also been using this 12-inch Brown & Sharp square. That one's looking really good right there. Oh, I bumped the square. Do it one more time there. All right. Seeing how it hinges right off the mill. This one's hinging more towards the ends than in the middle there. Towards the ends. Looking good though. I'm happy with it. I think this is good results for an old wore out K&T mill there. And we'll keep going on them. We've got about half of them done, I believe. Yep, we got this 6 right here that we need to do now. we've got all 12 of the customer squares milled. So I'm just getting the contaminants off the surface of the stone there. So I'm going to go ahead and deburr them. And since everything's nice, straight, and flat, the precision stones work really good for just deburring the corners of this off. Puts like a nice soft round edge on the square there. I'm going to sit here and do this to all of them, get them deburred. We got this corner right here, and I'm taking it and I'm just kind of stoning a nice little radius right on the corner of that right there. And then we're going to take the surface, give it a little rub with the stone. Oh, that looks good. It's not a scrape surface, but I'm comparing it to a scrape surface in the fact that as you look down it, in the reflection of a light on it, you see lots of little contact spots all the way down through there, almost like little tiny stars across the whole surface. So we know we got a good flat, even surface right there. And the stone just puts a nice little polish on it and removes any of the surface fuzz off of it, and gets that sharp corner off the corner there. We've got them all deburred. I've been coming back here and just giving an inspection on all of them, make sure that none of them have any kind of error that I did not see. They all seem to be consistent. We've got our brown and sharp square pushed up against it. There's the light, and I'm just doing the little light test right there. They all seem to be nice and consistent with each other. This one seems to be checking out really, really good. I'm just going to keep doing that, making sure all 12 of them are good. Just comparing them to our actual machinist square, brown and sharp. All right. So this is my setup to trim the ends of the squares here. I'll show you what I've done. This is I've got a few of them finished up now. I just want to make sure I have everything rolling the way I like. So we're going to go ahead and break this one down. I'll show you how this works. This makes it everything nice and square, 90 degrees to each other. All right. So I'll just move this clamp out of the way so you can see what I'm talking about. Got these 1/4" dowel pins right here, there and there. All of these holes are machined accurately in a linear fashion, square to the clamping face underneath the fixture plate here. So all we do is just take a square. This is the one I just did, so just make sure all the chips are off of it, and just set it in there and just push it very gently until it touches both sides. Let me grab another one that we're going to do, and we'll do it. Just make sure they're all clean. They're all deburred already, so just take and slide it right up into the corner right there. Okay, and you just got to be careful how you push it, you know, because you can easily push out here and kick it to one side or the other. But just push it up in there like that, and I can look down and see that all those pins are touching there. So these clamps here have these brass pads attached to them. I don't know who the manufacturer is right there. There's the part number, but I had bought these off Amazon, not Amazon, eBay years ago. So they work good. Get rid of those chips right there. They work real good. The brass helps protect the machine surface. I've got lock nuts on the studs there to keep the stud from moving in and out, and I got just enough room to pull this clamp down without bottoming out on that nut there. So just make sure what I do is I just gently just push into the corner, snug them by hand, and that's enough to hold it in place. And then I torque them down. just like that. All right, so we're going to be doing, what I'm doing is a rough cut, taking the bulk of it on both sides, and then when I get around here, I move it in 10 thousandths, and then climb mill across this way, come back over here, climb mill across this way, just to put a finished cut on both ends right there. All right, that's our rough cut, so we're gonna go ahead and move it back in to my 0 point. Just using my DRO, I got a 0 on each axis set. All right, we'll climb cut back the other way. Just very similar to what you already saw me do, just the ends instead. All right, now we're gonna wrap it out like this, and I'll go ahead and wrap it back down to the other side. Do our climb cut there. Just let it feed off a little bit. And that's it. And that cut has been proven. I just measured this with calipers. What I ended up making, the total length from each side, is 6 1/16. So my target was 6 inches 62 thousandths on that right there. All right. Going to be putting the touch mark on all of them. I just find that using the press, whether it be this one or the other press over there, just puts a more consistent mark in the surface. And whenever I try to hit it with the hammer, it usually bounces and leaves sort of a double image on there. So I just like to press them. All right, we got them all stamped with our little touch mark there. And I wanted to show you a little better shot of you know, the finish on these. So they're all, I've already checked them all, so they're all square, and I'm going to say that they're all within 1/1000ths of this being square right here. Okay, I want to show you the finish here. I touched them all with my precision ground stone on all sides, so showing it like this, you can really kind of see the contact pattern. If I can, there we go. I'm trying to find that reflection for you. So you see the contact pattern. It's even on the sides there as well. You know, from the mill, from the face mill. I'll set that one down. I'll grab another one over here randomly. Let's look at it. So they all got good finishes. They're all as accurate as the milling machine, my milling machine, will do. And if you're wanting these to a more precision state right there, what you need to do is either these need to be hand ground and inspected, or you can put it on a surface grinder and actually grind it to a finish. And of course, you know, it needs to be to a, you know, within better tolerances than what a conventional machine tool will do, such as the milling machine. So you've got to set these things up and make sure that whenever you grind one side of it, once it's set up, you've got to make sure that that side is 100%, you know, perpendicular to the next side that you're going to grind in order to get it there. And there's a lot of ways that you can do that using the toolmaker's blocks and precision angle plates, things like that. But they're all readily usable just as they are right now. You know, you can set these things up and use them, and they're ready to go. But they would make great scraping projects. This would be a really good hand scraping project for anybody. There you can see the flat pattern a little bit better from the precision stone. But yeah, they would make a good hand scraping project, even if they weren't needed to be that more accurate. It's just a fun project to do. You know, you could even do the sides of it here. It's just it would make a great scraping project for anybody that's learning how to scrape. But these are all done. This one on the top is actually mine right here. This one is just slightly smaller on the thickness here than all the rest of them. I had wrote A-bomb there, right there on the center rib, to know that this one was mine. And that's gonna finish up this project here. So from here, I got to get them. I'm gonna wrap them up, and then we'll put them in some boxes and start getting them sent out to their rightful owners. So if you're interested in buying one of these, be sure to check out Clarke's website, windyhillfoundry.com. That's where he's got these listed for sale, and he's also got pricing over there on his website for these and the other products that he sells there as well. So I have no doubt there's probably going to be some more people that would like to have these machined after seeing this video here. This was from the very first batch, and he actually has somebody there in Mississippi that he has machine them for the people that want them machined. But these 12 individuals right here that bought these insisted on me machining them. So Clarke talked to me, and I agreed that I would do them as soon as I could get to them. So I've had these for several weeks now, and just now getting them done. So I'm sure there's going to be some more folks that want to pick some up. So if we end up getting another batch of orders of people wanting some of these machined, I'm sure that I would set up my mill again and get them milled again, just like you see right there. All right, so there we go. That is the end of the Windy Hill Foundry 6-inch Machinist square video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. I enjoyed sharing it with you, and we will see you guys next time.